I am super honored and blessed because I feel like it's been way too long for this conversation to be had with a very special superstar, LaDawn Taylor.
Hey, y'all.
LaDawn, I am
Yes.
so excited to finally be sitting one on one with you because you're my sis and I love you.
Thank you. Thank you, Rosalind. I want to call her Rose, honey, because she's delicate, but beautiful, vivacious, and forever growing.
This woman right here, y'all, she is always speaking life into me. And for those that do not know or are familiar with LaDawn Taylor, LaDawn, can you tell everybody a little bit about you and where you are within the music world?
I'm LaDawn Taylor. Hey, guys. I am a vocalist. I would say a singer first, an actress second, and a overall performer, entertainer, but also a producer. New hat, in the last 3 years. Business owner, another new hat in the last 3 years. And I like to call myself a empire, and my hands are in a part of everything. But honestly, it started with my voice. And in school, singing in choir, honey. I believe that's where me and Rose met, honey, because she sings too. Y'all just don't know. But, yeah, I'm a vocalist, an actress, a producer, a creator, a mentor, a public speaker. And, I guess I could say I use my voice in every way positive as possible.
You are an absolute powerhouse, and we did actually meet, and that's how our relationship started. It was music and your beautiful vocals. And I'm really proud of you of how since we met in college and in those days where you've literally catapulted yourself into all these new spaces and avenues. My question for you is when it came down to that journey for you after college, was it, for those that don't know, LaDawn was the first Black princess at Disney World, Princess Tiana. Was it Disney first or was there anything in between to get to that point?
There was definitely adversity in between, honey. There's always something before you get to the prize. I mean, like I was in college, but honestly, right before college, I was in a very interesting relationship that almost stopped and blocked me from really blossoming. And I guess I can say I've been married and divorced at a very young age. And in the midst of that, pursuing my dreams and trying to be as vibrant and bright as I was, it was a time I was being shut down, silenced, and also kind of like caged. And once I found my way out, I was unstoppable. When my voice and acting, I fueled all of my emotional stress into my acting ability. Catapulted me and bust open doors that got me to Sam Houston State University in Huntsville, Texas. That was the university I went to. And then I pursued my acting career, or should I say acting classes at the college. And then my voice and just engulfed myself on the things that made me happy. And then Walt Disney World just happened to show up. It's not that you needed to go to college to become a princess. I had no idea that Princess Tiana was going to be in my world. Like I really did not. And honestly, sometimes favor of God is on people's lives, and favor with my life is sometimes not fair to people that may not believe, but God had it all set up for me. And literally right out of college, I just happened to walk into an audition. I was actually called by Disney World to come in for Princess Tiana, and I didn't even initially audition for her. That's the truth. That's the truth. And then from there, that's when it was like, oh, she sings too? And I was already still working on my voice, behind the scene. And then finally, 3 years after working with Walt Disney World as the face of Princess Tiana at Walt Disney, an opportunity came through Disney globally, internationally, in Hong Kong Disneyland. And I got to open up a show as Princess Tiana on a stage. And that's when the musical theater, like Broadway style world, came in for me. And so finally, I really got the real dream come true. And that's what happened. And since then, I've been like floating, and we'll get to that next.
Man, I love that. That's actually, I had no idea that you didn't even, that wasn't even in your vision or and they came to you.
It came to me. So honestly, I graduated from Sam Houston State University. And once I moved away, I knew that it was time for me to venture out. Something inside me was like, you need to go to Florida. I knew that as an actress, I wasn't 100% ready for Broadway yet. But I knew that if I joined a union, like the Actors Equity Union or a SAG union for film, Actors Equity is for stage, I can go to Walt Disney World and maybe get it a little bit easier. At least I had that in my mind because they offer those contracts, union. So I was like, I'm auditioning for the singing contract. And I got called back for everything. Walt Disney World, globally, in all different countries.
Not
Yeah, not
surprised.
just one, not in the USA, honey, in all the places. But then those doors didn't open for me. So that's a part of some of the setbacks where I was like, dang, like, I guess I'm not good enough, you know? But then I got a call from Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. And they was like, hi, this is Walt Disney World Entertainment. And I was like, am I going to be Mickey Mouse? And they were like, not exactly. But then, but then they called me for a little black princess in the green dress from the bayou of Louisiana.
What was that moment for you, just emotionally, of how you felt with some of the setbacks that you previously had in the past? And whenever you got that first call, what were you internalizing?
Honestly, I couldn't believe I had just moved from Houston, Texas to Orlando, Florida, 6 months prior before I got that phone call. So the secret was I was auditioning. Doors were not opening. And I was working 3 jobs. 3 jobs. I was a server, not a server. I was a hostess at Planet Hollywood. Yeah, Planet Hollywood. I think that's what it's called, a Hollywood Studios or whatever. Anyway, downtown Disney and Planet Hollywood. Yeah. And I was a hostess there. And I was like, great, cool. I work on Disney property. Hopefully, I can just go and study and get into Disney for free. And then I was working at a hotel next door to where I live. And as I was working at the hotel, the Radisson Resort Hotel in Kissimmee, Florida, I literally was working at the register in the diner, kind of like Princess Tiana, wearing a little green jacket outfit that looks very similar to what Princess Tiana wore in the movie. No connection to Disney at the time. No connection to Princess Tiana. It just happened to have a resemblance. Okay. And the third job was that I was a photographer at the Mall of Millennia in Orlando, Florida. 3 jobs, y'all. 3 jobs. I was putting more time in on the bus to get to the photography studio than I was on the clock. So I wasn't really getting paid. I had enough for the bus fare and enough to pay my bills in Orlando. 3 jobs, 3 jobs. And if you think about it, Princess Tiana is known for working really hard and don't have time for dancing, right? And so literally 6 months into auditioning, within those 3 months of auditioning, I got called back, but I didn't get those singing opportunities. Princess Tiana, they called me and they were like, they didn't say Princess Tiana. They were like Disney character performer. That's the term. Okay. So anybody that's looking to audition, it's called Disney character performer or character lookalike. And then they called me in. And when I walked into their room, it was like 300 people in there, stretching, warming up, doing all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't know what they're doing, but okay. Hey, I'm here. And they was like, hi, you got to step over there. We're going to measure you. And I was like, measure me for what? And they was like, you'll see. Sign my name down. And they were like, great, we're going to bring you back here. And then I literally walked past everybody in that room. That took me straight to cosmetology, put hair and makeup and wig. And I didn't even necessarily 100% know that this is what I was actually being seen for. Because they didn't tell me. They said character performer. That was the secret.
Wow. Wow, what a process. You're giving me chills. I didn't know this. I didn't know this part. Wow. Oh my goodness.
When I got that phone call about Disney, heart dropped because I had no idea. So once I got to that room, walked past everybody and they put the wig on and then I finally seen the dress, it all made sense that, oh my God, me, Black Princess, what? Like, I'm from Oklahoma. I grew up in Houston, Texas. Little old me. I don't from one parent, you know what I mean? My family loved me. They pray for me, but they don't get this life that I'm pursuing. I just knew that I needed to do something bigger. But literally, once I got past that, all those people in that room and they put that wig in hair and took me in that room behind closed doors and had me read the scripts. And I was like, kissing frogs and eating bugs all in the same day. Yeah. And they were like, great. Can you do it again? And I was like, did I do it right? They was like, yeah, do it one more time, but just do it as your natural self. And I was like, kissing frogs and eating bugs all in the same day. Yeah. They were like, they were trying to compose themselves. They were so excited. And I just was like, did I do it right? And they was like, just do us a favor and step outside the room and then we'll come back and get you. And I was like, okay, dang, I messed up. I must have did something wrong. And literally, they brought me back in. And they was like, okay, LaDawn, we will contact you in a couple of weeks. We'll let you know. And I was like, okay. And I was like, I'm sorry. And I was like, for what? And I was like, I don't know. Maybe I messed up. And they were like, no, you did good. And I was like, okay, thank you. I'm emotional.
You're making me emotional. My goodness.
It's like Wendy Williams. How you doing? Like, I need to
How you
get this
doing?
little. I can't mess up my makeup, darling. Literally, y'all. I walked into that room. I felt discouraged, but I just didn't know because, as a young Black person, you don't know when you're in a room of white people if they see you. So it's like, I was just like, man, I think I messed up. Like, you got to be so perfect. And that's not true. So literally, it was literally 4 days later, they called me and they said, hi, this is Walt Disney World Entertainment. Is this LaDawn Taylor? And I was like, yeah. And they was like, why do you sound so down? And I was like, I don't know. And they was like, we just wanted to let you know that you got the part. And I was like, what? And they were like, we want to offer you the role of Faith's character, Princess Tiana, Walt Disney World Entertainment Resorts, full-time job position as Princess Tiana. And I was like, what does that mean? And they were like, you come and join the entertainment family of Disney. And I was like, really? As Princess Tiana? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, oh my God. And they was like, yeah. And they was like, okay, so we'll contact you in a couple of days. We'll send you some emails. Thank you so much. That's amazing. Congratulations. I was like, thank you. I dropped the phone and I just cried out to God. And I was like, thank you so much. So that mean I get to get rid of these 2 jobs and I can just work 1 job.
The job is more fulfilling.
That's it. So it was just like, wow, God, I did all of this work. I went through all of this stuff, all these different setbacks, and not even getting accepted into musical theater at the school I was going to at the time because I guess they had their Black girl quota. But anyway, God made a way. He provided. Favor ain't fair. Okay. So literally, once I got my first time out there to see the kids, I just remember that feeling of feels like, oh my God, look at that little girl in that Princess Tiana dress. And she ran up to me like she'd been knowing me her whole life and she had to been 6. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm Tiana. And she like I had a moment that I had to I had to remember you're not LaDawn, you are Princess Tiana now. And I was like, she's so well, good to see you, baby cakes. Welcome to, this is the value. And I had to be 100% committed. And I'm like, now you tap into all those skills of training. And now it's your time. And that's what happened. But it was the most magical, beautiful. And then it was like, I got 45 minutes left to meet these babies. And then it was like a big old line. And I was like, how do I do that? Oh, but then it went so quick. Everybody was it's like, it was the first time I felt as a Black woman being seen by every nationality in the world, as if racism, discrimination, prejudice, any negativity never existed.
I love that. That is so beautiful. And you gave me so many chills, and it's so beautiful telling your story. I'm trying not to tear up as you're speaking.
I don't talk about this very often. And maybe I'm not supposed to, but nah, we have to. In today's world, we gotta uplift each other as Black girls, as Black women, because sometimes people don't always give us our flowers or our crowns. And I'm gonna pet myself and give myself my crown and you the crown, sis, for believing in me, giving me this opportunity and platform to share the story because it is what it is. I was a part of it and so many others. And I really hope that everybody else, that's filling those heels in those Disney parks and roles and whatever, friends with Princess Tiana, is giving her justice and supporting and loving on each other because we need each other. We can ignite and illuminate the world together as beautiful Black powerhouses, as beautiful Black women and women of color, biracial, color, whatever color complexion you are. If you mixed, you work too, baby.
Absolutely beautiful. Because I even know with your experience, the children, and then the fact that no one even saw you as a color. It's like it didn't even matter with your character. I'm wondering, like, that transition, because you've traveled all over the world performing. You're in a different location right now, not in your hometown. And I'm even thinking to myself, what was that like as far as with even going international abroad in Asia performing? What was that like?
getting that opportunity was like the actual dream come true. Because again, Tiana was never even in my mind. It just happened to happen. And I think it's so cool because I don't know all of my family's history. I don't even know a lot of our bloodline, you know? Um, I'm still learning myself, but I think that I feel like I put my family on the map in such a positive way that they're like, she actually made it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's a beautiful thing. But to be able to go and open up a show as a singer, as the Black Princess in a country that don't even cater to Black people, Black women, I was like, oh, I'm unstoppable. You know, that's when my confidence really grew. But because I was a face character at Disney, representing that character in parades and commercials and events all over the world. I wasn't a singer yet, so they didn't really get to hear my voice. So only people that really got to hear my voice was the little babies that got to meet me as Princess Tiana, because they would come and sing, "Almost there, almost there." You know, so that was where it was like special. And then the people that worked at Disney, they would come and be like, "She sings too," and I'm like, "Yeah." I was auditioning for those contracts. Really, give me that contract. So when Hong Kong finally came, that's Disney globally. And so when they gave me that opportunity to open up this show, actually right now it would make 10 years. Come August, it will be 10 years that I opened that show. Like, that's crazy. In Hong Kong, China. So literally they're about to celebrate 10 years since I opened that. I opened that show in Hong Kong, Disneyland, as the first Black princess internationally, as Princess Tiana myself. Yeah. And a few others. But
Just gave me chills again, LaDawn, chills again, because
it's the truth, because I'm still gaining confidence in my own ability, because people in this industry try to break you down so much. And it's like you have to remind yourself who you are.
you're absolutely right. And I even want to ask you, because I know this has been such a crazy, exciting, and still beautiful journey that you're going through. What has been the most pivotal part that's really changed you in this direction where it's like, wow, I can really do this despite all the hardship and adversity that I'm facing?
The thing that makes me feel like I can do this is actually the hard times, remembering those struggles and those in between when people wasn't calling me, when I, was no longer working in these big global places. So, cause I never got big headed, cause I always remembered who I was and where I came from. Very humble beginnings till this day. Some people even working at Disney. I had fans behind the scene that worked at Disney World next to me, and they would run to me in the tunnels. The utilidors is what they call it. But meaning like the co-workers would run to me that didn't do princesses. They probably just did like custodial or food or something, a little different from my role that was beautified and glorified. They were like, Tiana. And I'm like, oh, I'm a girl. I'm like, oh, I am LaDawn. Nice to meet you. And they like, no, you're like the Tiana. And I'm like, thank you. And I had to realize, just accept the compliment.
When it comes down to Hong Kong, I love Hong Kong. And I'm thinking, that's already unique and interesting alone, even down to just picking out makeup colors and finding things for your shade, etc.
Girl, that's another thing. They was like, no, cannot. And I'm like, Ngoy. Ngoy means like, excuse me, in Cantonese, Ngoy, like, makeup, do you have my color? They was like, no, cannot. And I was like, huh? Girl, like, and I look at it, it's all cream colored and very, but in Hong Kong, they walk around with umbrellas, parts of China, parts of the world, because they don't want to get darker, like this is not what they cater to. So I was like, I'm here, super chocolate and blackety black, but literally I would have my family, I know. I would have my family send me care packages. I hope
I
they be
remember
home.
those days. I remember.
Yeah, yeah. I would have my family send me care packages, or if somebody's friends would come, we would be like, who coming in your family? Ooh, can I send them some money? I'll send them a tip. Can they send me some? Can they bring this with them? You know what I mean? Isn't that crazy? But I think now, since it's been there for 10 years, they've opened up so many platforms and opportunities for Black women to be that role. So you're welcome. But yeah, so I hope and pray that now they have Chocolate Foundation, and I mean, like, I feel like they should now, but we created platforms while we lived out there. Like, we had a Facebook page. It was called Black People Meet, or like Black girls in Hong Kong, Black girls in China. You know, like we have a Facebook page, and we were like, where you get perms? Because we were still doing perms. Then the natural hair and stuff. Like 2016, perms was kind of transitioning into natural hair. You know, but as soon as I moved back from China to America, I went all natural, cut all the hair off. You know, but it was perfect because I was shedding my skin. But we created a little segue for us women of color to be able to have people to connect with and what to do and how do we take care of our hair? Where do we go for some good African food? Where do we go for some Black people food? You know, like just stuff like that. But we had our way. But I also something that I always thought is very important. If you go to another country, you need to engulf yourself in their culture. So I got involved in sports, water sports. I trained. I went through scrutiny too. Trust me, when you're the star and the lead of things, you always go through something. People don't tell you that. But I literally went through, you know, a lot of stuff. And I would say China, it really, really equipped me and trained me to be strong, to sustain throughout my life. Like I have never stopped ever since. I may be taking a break, but I always reinvented myself. And that's how I am what I am today. Like literally, I've reinvented myself. I've been humbled. I've been slapped and beat down so many times, you know, and not physically, maybe, but not really. But you know, words, we're human. Words, they hurt. People, they attack you and you just have to learn how to rise above and keep going. You always be positive. Always do the right thing because karma is not your friend and it does not discriminate. Uh,
Thank you for answering that. I love the fact that even still midway through your journey in this experience that you've opened up doors and you've opened up people's eyes. And that's very, very important when it comes down to representation. And I believe you represent us so well, LaDawn. You represent.
Thank you. That is a part of my confidence. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You absolutely represent us so well, where it's kind of like, you know, things that people didn't consider because they never encountered someone like you. Sometimes whenever we see videos on social media and, you know, we have representation in other places, but maybe we're not representing ourselves in the way that that country may see as fit, and it'll be negative news. But in this particular situation, you took your platform and you really helped elevate all of us as a whole. And so I want to thank you for that. You never know what can come from it. And with this being your moment where people are realizing that LaDawn can sing and you leaving Disney, what happened after you left Disney when people started discovering, you know, your voice? What transition happened in your life?
A lot of hate. I'm just playing. Um, honestly, I transitioned and I was like, that means it's time to go. Like, it's time to go. And I need to move to New York because the original goal is Broadway and shows. And moving to New York was a crazy big leap. I will tell you, it's created so much character, so much strength. You know, New York is a place where people be marching all the time and standing up for injustice and all of that good stuff. And I feel so unapologetic today. I still come from a place of love because my family raised me in love and hugs in Jesus' name. You know, so I know better. I hold myself accountable. So any weapon formed against me will not prosper.
You have a beautiful family.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, but I mean, like, New York is not easy, but I feel like it is a place that you have to be there to get it. I recently, this year, was a part of Saturday Night Live's 50-year anniversary. I got to be a part of the set, but it's located at the Rockefeller Center or the Radio City. You know, it's there. I got to film with them and work with them and do some fun things. And also, I've worked in film since I've been in New York. I was featured in The Godfather of Harlem, which I think it's still filming. And I live in Harlem. So they have TV shows like Harlem with Megan Good, and that show was fire. And like, they literally be filming on my street, like the CSI and FBI, all of those fun, like criminal justice shows, Law and Order. I filmed on Law and Order. It stretched me into places that it's like I didn't even know or how to be a part of those things, but I've gotten to do a lot. I mean, The Good Fight, Emmy Award winning, Marvelous Miss Maisel, like at the Carnegie Hall. But definitely, like, I've done some stuff and I'm like, I don't even talk about it. Like, I think it's so funny to me. Like, when people meet me, they're like, oh, you're so nice. You're so humble. You're so, like, it's almost like they can't believe that you can meet somebody that's genuine and that I'm not coming in talking about, I did this, I do that. That is so immature. Like, You're such an amateur. If you gotta sit there and boast about your stuff, that means that you ain't it. Like, I'm so sorry, but I'm not. Because you don't, when you're in places, you just be you. And the things that's for you, you're gonna grab it, like it's gonna gravitate. You know, you attract, you don't chase. It comes to you, it's for you.
I'll tell you this right now. All these different experiences and all these different places that you've been featured. I remember, man, I remember turning on the TV because I love my girl Wendy Williams now. And I'm like, is that LaDawn? Wendy Williams loves
I
you,
miss
by the
her, and
way.
I cannot wait until she come back. Wendy, get it together, baby. We rooting for you. I don't care. I don't care. They built you up to be exactly what you are, and you will come back unapologetic. You are a true Jersey girl, and we love you. Like, there's other people that do worse behind the scene that we don't even see and know, baby. They just use your face and your platform, build you up and tear you down. But guess what? You still winning, honey. Well, I'll see you again. I wish I could hug you, but it's all about love, and Black people still need to uplift each other, even in the midst of something that seems off, because I promise you, her mouth and whatever was happening, they were encouraging that behavior, and then they brought her down too. So stop.
Exactly. Like we wish you, Wendy. We wish you the best. And LaDawn, whenever she's out, you gotta help cheer up her spirits. I'm just gonna say that.
Oh, for real, for real. You know, and we gotta always uplift each other, you know, in some kind of positive way, or remind people that, hey, this is sometimes just the image that you see. It's not really who I am. It's just a part of the world that I live in, you know? So I'm still tangible. I'm still human. I'm still a person, and I have feelings too, you know?
I
Yeah.
want to ask you, with all of these amazing moments, what have been the highlights? Because you've been on so many different projects. What have been some of the highlights out of everything that you've mentioned so far or haven't mentioned?
One of the highlights that is something fantastic, or that I love, yes, Disney, that was great. But I really loved being, so right now I'm actually in a contract in South Carolina at the Coastal Arts Center. I am in the role of Donna Summer, and I'm playing the role of Donna Summer. And it's an incredible story, and it's so genuine and so real and raw that I'm like, it's so nice to be able to portray a role of this diva, this icon, because of so many things that people don't know about her. And the fact that I'm the lead of the show, I'm so happy that I get to share her story, because I feel like today it resonates with who I am. And I can really, really like put it in the center of my heart and share it, and like literally just spew out every element of hurt and pain that I've been through, and every win that I've been through on this stage. And I'm honored that it came back to me. And when I say that it came back to me, is that I worked with the original Broadway team of Donna Summer the musical, the people that wrote the show, the Tony Award winners behind the show, including his name was Cole Domingo. Am I saying that right?
I don't know, but you making me
Coleman
proud.
Domingo. Domingo. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, he is one of the producers of this project as well. But I worked with some of the Tony Award winners that produced this show. Des McDuff is one. And I worked with them 2 years ago. And we were taking the show from the Broadway tour, from the Broadway show, to Norwegian Cruise Line. And I got to work with that team. And they were like, oh, you know, you're cast as the cover for that, and give it up for the understudies and the covers, because sometimes you never see them. They never get a chance to go on. So I never got to go on, but I always knew the role. And they always said they would bring me back, and they never did. It hurt me, you know, lo and behold, I was kind of hurt, but I had never gave up hope. 2 years later, this girl gets the opportunity in South Carolina at the Arts Coastal Carolina Theater, the center here. And it is a freaking phenomenal show. And again, I'm happy that I get a chance to step in these shoes this time around, because it resonates with who I am today. So I love the show, and the people are eating it up. They're eating. They're eating the cats. I'm just playing.
No cats are being eaten right now.
Yeah.
know,
So, yeah, Donna
it's
Summer, the musical, is what I'm a part of.
I'm trying not to get teary-eyed as you're talking, because I know you've had a very wild journey, and I want to say something about you, LaDawn, for people that don't know. It's like, no matter what obstacles or rocks or stones that get thrown your way, the years that I've known you, we're going to feel like we're old when I say this, but the long time that we've known each other, I love and admire the fact that your spirit and your light is always so bright. And as you're telling me all this amazing, your story and your journey, I'm not supposed to cry, but as you're telling me your journey and progress, it's just kind of like, it's endless for you. And it's just like, even down to you being the star, of this show with Donna Summers. And like, are you wanting to I know you're doing your thing with Broadway. Are you wanting to get more into acting roles and things like that on the big screen?
Course. Hey, like that's what I said. Like I have been right next to freaking what's his name from Godfather of Harlem, Forrest Whitaker. Like literally, the Godfather of Harlem. I've been next to legends and icons in New York and stuff like SNL, Saturday Night Live, like Keenan, like all these great people. That is definitely a goal. It's not just Broadway, it's acting. I'm an actress. I can transform. And that's the cool part. I honestly was boxed for a long time going from Disney to New York because they're like, oh, Disney, Princess Tiana. We see it. Good job, LaDawn. And that means no. I was boxed for a long time. I felt like I wasn't getting opportunities because people just saw me as this commercial fix, bubbly black girl. And they didn't really know where to fit me and put me. So sometimes with big roles, if you think about like Steve Urkel, Julia White, I believe that's his name. Like some people get boxed because they play such prominent roles in their younger years of time and they don't give them other opportunities because people don't see them outside of their character. So this Donna Summer role, honey, it's filthy at times. And I'm just like, a one big role that I really want, like I want like to be connected to Whitney Houston. That is my vocal god, honey.
I see that with Whitney Houston because you've done some wonderful Whitney Houston covers.
Yay. Speaking of, I produce shows. I contact some of the most prestigious venues in New York. And I like 54 Below, which used to be Studio 54 back in the 70s, 60s, 70s, early 80s. And, that's where like Donna Summer got her reign of the disco queen, Studio 54. But I booked and I sent pictures to venues like that, prestigious venues. And I say, hey, I want to do a Whitney Houston tribute. And I hire people of color. I'm open to all diversities, but sometimes I like to give us opportunities too. Because a lot of times our industry likes to pit us against each other, or the black girls like to pin themselves. Like, we got to do better. We just got to love each other. But I'm incredible. I'm a powerhouse, and so are you. So I give us all opportunities, and I put us on the same stage, and we can sing and wail and eat together. And so, yeah, I put us on stage. I put bands and singers together, and we do tributes to icons like Whitney Houston, Chaka Khan, Tina Turner.
I look forward to seeing you on the big screen, and I look forward to seeing you with other roles because in my eyes, you are a living legend. This is not flattery. Like truly, anybody that is listening to this woman worked so freaking hard. So many things come her way, and yet she is shining. She is still shining, still standing. There's something truly powerful about showing up for one another, and that's what our partnership with Special Olympics Texas is all about. Blondly Media is dedicated to sharing the stories of resilience and achievement from these remarkable athletes and building more of an inclusive, supportive community. If you want to be a part of this movement, there are plenty of ways to get involved. Subscribe to our quarterly magazine, help an athlete tell a story, host a community or business event that welcomes Special Olympics Texas athletes, or pick up some merch to show your support. Every action, big or small, helps open doors and create new opportunities for these incredible competitors. Special Olympics Texas is grounded in family, encouragement, and belief that everyone belongs. If you're ready to join us, follow the link below to see all the ways that you can be a part of this journey and stand with the Special Olympics community. Let's push the world forward together. LaDawn, what sort of advice would you give to someone that low-key wants to be in your shoes? What kind of advice would you give to someone that's like, get into the entertainment space, but people keep putting me to a box and it's just like, I don't know what to do. I think I should quit and I should just go get a regular 9 to 5.
I would say never give up. Never give up. Like literally 2 years ago, I was told one thing about this role and they never brought me on, and I never gave up. I bought Donna Summer records, vinyl. Anything that exuded her, I studied her, and I was like, my opportunity gonna come. And it came 2 years later because I never gave up. I didn't stop, you know?
There were things that you said as
You
well.
cannot.
Oh, sorry, not to cut you off, but there were some things that you said as well that I paid attention to. And like, even when it comes down to these historic buildings and these venues that you're performing in, you were the one that you weren't waiting for the opportunity to come. You weren't simply waiting. You were hungry. You were the hunter, and you were reaching out there, putting yourself out there. I'm pretty sure you got no's, but you still kept going.
I was doing the work. I never stopped. And that is the core. You keep doing the work in between. You keep doing the work. You don't give up. You research the things that you like and that you want, and you study it. Or either you find something new, reinvent yourself. I'm an innovator. I am an Aquarius, darling. I flow, but I like to create and come up with new ideas. And what else can I do? I don't want to just be auditioning, letting these people tell me where I can be and putting me where they want me and boxing me. I'm a creative. Screw it. I'm gonna go on the other side. Like you need to create your own. And remember, you have a lot of the tools inside of you. You have all the resources sometimes, and you're waiting for somebody to cast you on something. No, I'm already cast. I'm already qualified. I already got the job. I've done the job. I've been the job. I am the job. So now I got to do it. And that's what I have been doing in the last few years. And now I have RoyalMadeEvents, Princess Tiana, where I train other beautiful Black girls or biracial girls and other, diversities, to be princesses. And they go into community events, birthday parties, libraries, hospitals, and they give a little extension of Disney magic to these babies or these families that may not even be able to afford it, or the babies that can't leave the hospital, and communities in Harlem where the babies probably just, grew up in certain neighborhoods where they can never, ever go to Disney World. So I give them that magical experience safely, but I train these girls to be those representations, and they're like, wow, I'm beautiful. Yeah, you are. Because I didn't even know I was good enough for beautiful when I first got the job. I almost left that room crying because I was like, I messed up. They didn't like me. And they literally called me 4 days later. They were like, we'll call you in 3 days and let you know if you're picked for the role. 4 days later. Hi, LaDawn, we offered you the position full time. Hi, LaDawn, guess what? We give you the role of Donna Summer. You're going to be the lead. Really? Okay. Wow, I never gave up. Whether Tiana to Donna Summer to Whitney Houston, like next to the powerhouses that's on Broadway, that's doing shows that got names. And I'm like, and at the end of the day, guess what? Even when your show ends on Broadway, you still got to get in line and audition again with the person that just got out of college. And they may look at you like, oh, you old and outdated now. Now we're going to put the young girl in there. But you can't give up. Even when you're old and outdated, you reinvent yourself. If you're young, you work on yourself. Don't become a bully. Don't become, I'm going to tear this person down. You be great. Don't ever forget where you come from, because karma is not your friend when it come back around. I'm going to tell you that right now. But be positive. Choose peace. Choose kindness, forgiveness. And if people don't like you, they don't invite you to the table. Guess what? I sit at the throne of my own table. Goodbye, wig. Nene Leaks. Thank you. You gotta literally be like, cool, I'm good by myself. Because you're sitting here letting people devour you and bring you down and put you in a box when you are the star, you are the ingenue, you are big and bright, and you're supposed to be. They don't fit in with you because they down here pulling you down. They pulling you down for a reason. Why? Because you up high.
Wise words.
Don't ever forget that.
You, man, LaDawn, I love, see, for those that don't know, this is LaDawn 24/7 speaking life into you. And I love the fact that you were not only making a name for yourself, but you were still paving a way for others, other women. And that is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. You are still making a way, and you're not threatened by someone that's younger, that someone comes, despite what happens throughout our day to day. It's like, you know what? I'm still going to keep going. I'm not going to slow down. What do you want people to remember you for? Your legacy.
Remember me for always being the bubbly, positive Black girl, standing strong, resilient, fearless, outgoing, kind, loving, genuine, somebody you can trust and that you see moving constantly, unbothered. Because you have to get strong skin, and you don't have to ever cut nobody down, even when they cutting you down. Just remember, karma is not your friend, and it does not discriminate. So when they do ugly, just like Miss Michelle Obama said, when they go low, you go high. Okay? Always choose the high road, because it will always come back to them in some kind of way. Trust me, I'm not dealing with it today. But guess what? You love these people anyhow. That's all you can really do.
Yes. Love. Love wins every single time. Thank you, LaDawn. I love
Thank
you.
you.
And I am wishing you nothing but success. There's no limit to what you are capable
Thank you.
of. And I am honored that you're taking the time out of your busy schedule, your showtime schedule, that you're over there now to talk and share your message with many people I believe needs to hear this, especially from you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for this platform and this opportunity. And always believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Because I believe in you.
Thank you, LaDawn.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, Rosalind. This was
And
fantastic.
I definitely cannot let you go without asking, how can people stay in contact with you?
I have 3 Instagrams. The first one is like everyday life, but mostly my main is LD Taylor 03. No, it's Instagram. LD Taylor 03. That's my everyday Instagram. And then the other one that's mostly performance is LaDiva Taylor, the number 3. And then the other one is Royal Made Events, or just Royal Made. Yeah. So Royal Made is my business, which represents the princess parties and events. So yeah. And then,
Yeah.
of course, TikTok. Yeah, you can follow me. It's my name, LaDawn. Just find me on TikTok too. I'm just me. You can also go to LaDawnLive.com, which is my website, or RoyalMadeEvents.com, which is my business website as well. So there you go. Follow me, support me, reach out to me for future projects. Like, hey, anything with Whitney Houston, I want to be a part of that, whether I'm front stage, behind the scene. I love her and I want to support her, but most of all, elevate myself so that I can bring other people with me. Keep it positive and choose kindness. Love you. Thank you.